The jungle was alive with strange sounds, every tree glowing faintly with blue light, every shadow hiding unknown dangers. The alien tribe walked carefully, their eyes darting from one plant to another. They feared the jungle more than anything. Among them walked a human, a man far from his home. His boots sank into the soft moss and sweat rolled down his neck. He had been warned that the jungle was no place for outsiders, but he refused to stay behind. He wanted to prove he was not weak. The air grew heavy. The insects buzzed louder. The alien girl, barely 15 by human years, ran ahead, chasing a glowing, butterfly-like creature. Her laughter was soft, but filled the tense silence. For a moment, even the jungle felt less dangerous. Then it happened. A rustle from the grass, a blur of movement. Before anyone could shout, the serpent struck. The snake was unlike anything on earth. Its body was thick as a tree branch, its scales black and green, glowing faintly like poison. Its fangs sank deep into the girl's leg and she screamed, falling to the ground. The tribe froze, terror filled their eyes. "The venom serpent," one of them whispered. His voice shook, the girl's skin turned pale. Her veins darkened, spreading. From the wound like black rivers, she clutched her leg, her breathing fast and shallow. "Everyone knew what this meant. She is doomed," the elder said. "No one survives a bite from the serpent." The human's eyes widened. He looked at the tribe, then at the girl gasping on the ground. Her small hands reached toward him, her eyes begging. "No one will help her," another alien said, stepping back. "The venom kills in minutes, nothing can be done," but the human did not listen. He dropped to his knees beside her, his hands pressed against the wound. His mind raced. He had seen this before, not here, but on Earth. A snake bite. He remembered what to do. "Move back," he shouted, his voice firm. The tribe hesitated, shocked that he dared touch the doomed girl. He bent down, put his mouth over the wound and sucked hard, spitting the black liquid to the ground. The taste was bitter, burning his tongue. But he continued again and again. The aliens gasped in horror. "He is killing himself," one cried. "Humans are mad," another hissed. The girl whimpered. But slowly, her breathing steadied. The dark veins stopped spreading. The human kept going until his head spun and his stomach burned. Then he wiped his mouth and collapsed beside her. Silence filled the jungle. Only the buzzing insects dared to make sound. The tribe stared at the girl. Her face was still pale, but color began to return to her cheeks. She blinked slowly, her chest rising and falling with steadier breaths. She lives," whispered one of the aliens, disbelief heavy in his voice. The elder stepped forward, eyes wide. "Impossible," he muttered. "No one survives the serpent." The human sat up, wiping blood from his lips. His body trembled, sweat pouring down his face. "She's alive," he said, his voice hoarse. "That's what matters." But as he spoke, he felt a strange burn in his chest. His vision blurred for a moment. His hands shook. He swallowed hard, hiding his pain from the tribe. The aliens kept their distance, some staring at him with fear, others with awe. None of them had ever seen someone fight death with his own body. The girl reached for his hand. Her voice was weak. "Thank you," she whispered. The human gave her a small nod, forcing a smile. But deep inside, he knew something was wrong. He could still taste the venom on his tongue, and it felt as if it was crawling inside him. The jungle rustled again. A shadow passed. Between the glowing trees, the same serpent, larger than before, slid silently in the darkness. Its yellow eyes locked on the group. The tribe did not notice. Their focus was on the human and the girl he had saved. But the human's sharpened senses caught the movement. His heart pounded. He knew this was not over. The serpent had returned. And this time it was hunting him. The jungle was still, but the silence was heavy. It was the kind of silence that came after danger, when everyone was too afraid to even breathe. The girl lay on the ground, her leg trembling from the bite, her skin no longer pale white but slowly turning back to its normal glow. The aliens stared at her, wide-eyed, whispering among themselves. "This cannot be. No one lives after the serpent's bite," one of them muttered. His hands shook as if he was seeing something forbidden. The elder of the group bent down and touched the girl's forehead. Her skin was warm, but not burning with fever. Her chest rose and fell in slow, steady breaths. It was the first time in memory that someone had survived the venom. How is this possible? The elder asked, his voice cracking. He turned his gaze to the human. The human sat nearby, still breathing hard. His lips were stained dark from the venom he had spit out. His body was weak, but his eyes remained sharp. He said nothing, only wiped his mouth with the back of his hand. One of the younger warriors stepped forward, pointing at him with a shaking finger. It was him. He put his mouth on the wound. He pulled the venom out. That is madness. He should be dead, another alien hissed. Or maybe he will die in minutes. The venom will eat him alive. We must stay away from him. The tribe stepped back, forming a wide circle around him. Their faces were filled with both fear and wonder. The human ignored their stares. His focus was on the girl. She was alive, and that was enough for now. The girl slowly opened her eyes. Her voice was faint, but steady. I thought I was gone, she whispered. Her small hand reached for his. The human held it gently, giving her comfort. You're safe now, he said softly, though his own body shook with weakness. He hid the burning in his chest and the dizziness clouding his head. He didn't want her to see his pain, but the elder did not miss it. His old eyes narrowed. The venom is inside you, he said quietly. No one can hold it and remain whole. The human tried to stand, but his knees buckled. He steadied himself against a tree. His heartbeat was faster than normal. His vision sharpened strangely. Every sound in the jungle seemed louder, every detail brighter. He clenched his fists, forcing himself to stay calm. He could not show fear, not in front of them. I'll be fine, he said firmly, though even he was not sure if it was true. The girl sat up slowly, surprising everyone. He saved me, she said louder this time, her voice clear. He risked himself for me when none of you would move. The tribe looked away in shame. None had dared to touch her. They had believed she was already dead. One warrior snapped angrily. Do not speak against us, child. We only followed the law. No one touches the doomed. That is the way of survival. But the elder raised a hand, silencing him. His gaze stayed fixed on the human. You have done what none of us would dare. Perhaps foolishness, perhaps bravery. But now you carry a curse. The human's jaw tightened. He said nothing. His stomach twisted as if fire burned inside. Yet at the same time, his hearing picked up something strange. Leaves rustling too far away to be noticed by anyone else. The slither of scales against bark. He glanced toward the dark trees. His instincts screamed danger. The serpent was still, near, watching, waiting. The girl noticed his distant stare. What is it? She asked softly. He shook his head, not wanting to panic her yet. Instead, he said, we should move. Staying here is not safe. But the tribe was not ready. They still argued among themselves. Some whispered he was blessed. Others whispered he was cursed. One even said he should be tied and left in case he turned into something dangerous. The human's patience snapped. His voice cut through their noise. While you argue the jungle is still alive, do you want to wait until it comes for us again? His words silenced them. For a moment they looked at him with respect. The girl squeezed his hand tighter. I will follow him, she said. Her words carried weight. She was the daughter of one of the high families of the tribe. Her opinion could not be ignored. The elder sighed, his shoulders heavy with thought. Very well, he said slowly. We move, but we keep our eyes on him. The human nodded, hiding his unease. The fire in his veins was spreading. His senses were sharper than ever. He could hear the heartbeat of the girl beside him, smell the fear of the warriors behind him, and feel the weight of something watching from the shadows. He walked forward, supporting the girl. Each step felt heavier, but his determination burned stronger. He would not let her fall again. Far behind them, in the glowing undergrowth, two yellow eyes followed. The serpent had not given up. The venom inside the human connected him to it in a way no one understood, and in the darkness the serpent coiled tighter, patient, waiting for the right moment to strike again. The night fell heavy over the jungle. The glowing trees dimmed to a pale light and strange cries echoed far in the distance. The tribe made camp on a rocky rise, hoping the height would protect them from the creatures below. The human sat apart from the others, his back against a stone wall. His breathing was uneven, sweat glistened on his face. He pressed a hand against his chest, feeling the strange fire still burning inside. Every sound was sharper than before. The drip of water, the scratch of claws in the distance, the beating hearts of those around him. He could hear them all. It was overwhelming, like his senses had been stretched too far. The girl he had saved sat beside him. Her leg was wrapped with leaves soaked in healing oils. She looked weak but alive. Her eyes, however, were focused on him. "You don't look well," she whispered. He forced a smile. "I've been worse," he said, though the truth was far darker. His veins itched like fire beneath his skin, and his vision sometimes shifted, showing him flashes of strange lights. Moving in the jungle, the elder approached, his face hard and thoughtful. He crouched down, studying the human's trembling hands. "You carry the serpent's curse," he said softly. "No one has ever held the venom inside them and remained themselves." The human met his gaze, steady despite the shaking in his body. "If it means she lives, then it was worth it." The elder frowned. "Bravery is often the same as foolishness," he murmured. "But perhaps there is more to this. The venom chose you, and that troubles me," the other warriors whispered among themselves. Some looked at the human with fear, others with anger. One of them spoke loudly. "He is changing. We should bind him before he turns into something worse than the serpent." The girl immediately shook her head. "No, he saved me. You will not touch him." Her small voice carried a strength that silenced even the loudest warrior. But the human knew they were not wrong to fear. His body was not the same. He could feel it. His hands were stronger, his movements quicker, but inside something whispered to him, a dark voice urging him to strike, to bite, to hunt. He clenched his fists, fighting the urge. He would not lose himself, not while the girl needed him. Suddenly, his head snapped toward the trees. His eyes narrowed. He could see shadows moving, too far for normal sight. The serpent was still following, but it was not alone. Smaller shapes slithered alongside it. The human stood, his voice urgent. "It's coming. We cannot stay here." The tribe panicked, looking around nervously. The elder barked an order. "Silence! Pack quickly." But one warrior spat at the human's feet. "How do you know this? You see shadows in the dark? Or perhaps the venom whispers lies to you?" The human stepped closer, his eyes burning with strange light. "Believe me or don't, but if you stay, you'll all be dead by dawn." The warrior stumbled back, unsettled by the intensity in his eyes. The elder studied him closely, then gave a short nod. "We move." The group gathered their things quickly, moving deeper into the jungle. The human led, his sharp senses guiding them. He could smell the dampness of the air before a storm. Here, the faint shift of rocks under a predator's weight. He warned them before danger came, and each time he was right. The aliens began to look at him differently, not just with fear, but with respect. They whispered, "He walks like he is part of the jungle now." But with every step, the human felt less himself. His heartbeat no longer matched the rhythm he once knew. His reflection in the river showed eyes faintly glowing green, like the serpent's at camp. The next night, he sat alone again. The girl crawled over, ignoring her wound. She sat beside him, quiet for a long time before speaking. "You're scared," she said softly. He looked at her, surprised. "And how do you know that?" "Because you saved me," she whispered. "Someone who saves another life is never without fear. Fear is what makes you hold on." He stared at her, then laughed quietly, though his chest still burned. She was right. He was afraid, not of dying, but of losing what made him human. The elder came once more, his voice heavy with thought. "The venom is changing you, but perhaps this is not only curse." He looked toward the glowing jungle. Long ago, there were stories of a warrior who drank venom and became more than flesh, perhaps. You are the echo of that story. The human shook his head. I'm no legend, he said. I'm just trying to keep you alive. But deep inside, he knew the elder was not entirely wrong. The venom was shaping him, giving him strength no man should have. As the camp fell silent, the jungle roared to life again. A distant hiss echoed through the trees, followed by the crack of branches. The venom serpent was near, and this time it was not hunting the tribe. It was hunting him, the one who had stolen its poison and lived. The night was heavy with mist. The jungle glowed faintly under the light of the moons. Every tree looked like a shadow waiting to move. Every rustle of leaves felt like a warning. The tribe huddled, together on the rocky ground, their weapons close but their courage weak. They had seen too much already. The girl lay beside the human, her head resting on her arms. Her breathing was calm, but her eyes never fully closed. She feared what still stalked them in the dark. The human did not sleep. He could not. His body burned with the venom inside him. His ears twitched at every sound. His eyes caught every flicker of light. He felt the jungle as if it were part of him, and then he heard it, a long hiss, deep and echoing. It crawled over the rocks, sending chills down his spine. His heart beat faster. His senses sharpened until he could hear the grass bending under a heavy body. He rose silently, signaling the others to stay quiet. The elder's eyes widened. Is it near? He whispered. The human nodded. It's here. A branch snapped, and the serpent revealed itself. Its massive body slid into the clearing, scales glowing green and black under the moonlight. Its eyes burned yellow, and its tongue flicked out, tasting the air. The tribe gasped. Some raised their spears, others stepped back in terror. But the serpent did not look at them. Its gaze locked on one figure only, the human. The human stood still, his jaw tight. His body screamed with pain, yet also with strange energy. The venom inside him pulsed in rhythm with the serpent's hiss as if they were connected. The girl whispered, It wants you. He nodded slowly. Then it will have me. The serpent coiled, ready to strike. Its body towered like a living wall. Its fangs dripped with glowing venom that sizzled as it hit the ground. The tribe trembled, none daring to move. Then, in a blur, it lunged. The human reacted faster than he thought possible. He rolled aside, the serpent's fangs slamming into the stone where he had stood. Cracks spread through the rock, spraying. Dust into the air, he grabbed a fallen spear, spinning it in his hands. His grip felt too strong, the wood creaking under his hold. He launched forward, jabbing the spear at the serpent's neck. The point struck, but the serpent's scales were thick as armor. The spear snapped in half, leaving him holding nothing but a stick. The serpent hissed, its body whipping around with terrifying force. The tail slammed into him, throwing him across the ground. His back hit a tree, pain flashing through his ribs. The girl screamed, trying to run to him, but warriors held her back. The elder shouted, Stay back. If he is to fight it, let him fight alone. The human rose slowly, blood on his lip. His body should have collapsed, but the venom inside gave him strength. His wounds burned, then healed quicker than before. His breath steadied, his vision sharpened. The serpent lunged again, jaws wide. He dodged low, sliding under its belly, and slashed the broken spear across the softer scales underneath. A dark liquid spilled out, sizzling on the rocks. The serpent shrieked, its body twisting violently, knocking over trees. The ground shook. The tribe cried out, but the human did not stop. He picked up a stone and hurled it with unnatural force. The rock cracked against the serpent's jaw, stunning it for a moment. The girl's eyes widened, whispering, He moves like one of them, but stronger. The serpent recovered, slamming its tail again. The human leapt aside, barely missing the blow. His body felt lighter, faster, stronger. The venom was no longer only pain, it was power. He clenched his fists, charging forward. His punch slammed into the serpent's snout, and to everyone's shock, the beast recoiled, hissing in rage. The elder gasped. By the stars, the venom makes him a weapon. But the fight was not won. The serpent reared up, opening its mouth wide, glowing venom dripping like rain. It prepared to strike again, this time to kill. The human stood tall, chest heaving, eyes glowing faintly. Green, he raised the broken spear like a blade. His voice rang out, "Come then!" The serpent lunged faster than before, its jaws closing in like a trap. At the last second, the human leapt, driving the spear straight into its mouth. The weapon pierced soft flesh. The serpent thrashed violently, its hiss shaking the jungle. It flung him back, blood spraying from its mouth. The human hit the ground hard, his body aching. But when he lifted his head, he saw it, the serpent retreating, its massive body sliding back into the trees, wounded but alive. Its yellow eyes glared at him before vanishing into the shadows. The jungle fell silent again. Only the heavy breathing of the tribe remained. The girl rushed to him, falling to her knees. "You hurt it, you made it bleed," she said in awe. The elder stepped forward, his face unreadable. "You are no longer only human," he said quietly. "The serpent fears you now, but it will return, stronger and angrier." The human wiped blood from his face. His eyes still glowing faintly, he whispered to himself, "Let it come." But deep inside, he knew the elder was right. The serpent was not finished, and neither was the venom inside him. The jungle was restless. The serpent had vanished into the night, but its presence lingered like a shadow. Every alien in the tribe felt it. Their eyes darted at every sound. Their hands gripped their weapons tighter, but the one they stared at most was the human. He sat near the fire, his shirt torn and stained with blood. His chest rose and fell with heavy breaths. His eyes glowed faintly green under the flames, and no one dared to sit close to him. The girl, however, refused to move away. She sat at his side, her wounded leg stretched out. Her hand rested lightly on his arm, as if reminding him he was not alone. "You saved us," she whispered. "You fought the serpent and lived." The human shook his head, his jaw tight. "I didn't defeat it," he said softly. "I only drove it back. It will return. And next time, it won't run." The elder approached slowly, his long staff tapping the ground. His old eyes scanned the human. "You grow stronger," he said carefully. "Stronger than before, do you not feel it?" The human frowned, but deep inside he knew the elder was right. His body was different, his wounds closed faster, his muscles felt heavier, and every sound in the jungle sang clearly in his ears. He could even hear the heartbeats of the tribe, around him fast with fear. "Yes," he admitted finally. "I feel it, and I don't know if that's good or bad." The elder's voice was grave. "Power is never good or bad. It only reveals who you truly are." Before the human could answer, one of the warriors spat on the ground, his eyes full of anger. "He is no longer human. Look at his eyes, look. At his strength, he carries the serpent inside him. He is cursed. If we keep him, he will destroy us." Others murmured in agreement. Fear spread through the group like fire. The girl rose to her feet, standing between the human and the tribe. Her small frame shook, but her voice was firm. "He saved me when all of you stood still. He fought the serpent when all of you hid. He is not cursed, he is brave." The tribe fell silent, ashamed but still afraid. The human clenched his fists, his veins glowing faintly under his skin. He felt the venom stir inside him, twisting like a beast hungry for release. His chest burned, and his vision blurred for a moment, showing him strange images. Snakes coiling around stars, green fire spreading across the sky. He shook his head, forcing the visions away. He would not lose himself, not yet. Suddenly, a sound ripped through the jungle, not the hiss of one serpent, but the chorus of many. The trees shook as smaller snakes slithered through the undergrowth, glowing with faint green light. The tribe screamed, grabbing their weapons. "They come! The serpent's brood!" The human stood quickly, his body reacting faster than thought. He grabbed a broken spear and stepped forward. His voice was low but steady. "Stay behind me." The girl caught his arm, her eyes wide. "You can't fight them all." He looked at her, his faintly glowing eyes fierce. "Watch me." The first wave of snakes struck, fast and deadly. The warriors jabbed with their spears, But the creatures dodged and snapped, their venom dripped onto the stones, burning holes into the ground. The human leapt forward, moving faster than any of them. His hand shot out, catching a snake mid-air. He squeezed, and with a sickening crack its body shattered. Venom sprayed, sizzling on his skin. But instead of burning, it sank into him, making his veins glow brighter. The tribe gasped. Some whispered in awe, others in fear. Another snake lunged, and the human moved like lightning, his fist slamming into its head, crushing it into the dirt. He spun, kicking another into a tree so hard that its bones snapped. The elder watched, his voice trembling. He fights like no man, he is something more. The girl's eyes shone with both fear and wonder. She whispered, "He is becoming one of them." But still ours. The human roared as more snakes attacked. His body glowed faintly green now, his movements fluid and sharp. He was no longer just fighting. He was hunting. His eyes darted, predicting every strike. His hands and feet struck. With impossible speed, one warrior dropped his spear in shock. "He is the venom bearer," he muttered, chosen by the serpent itself. Within minutes, the ground was littered with broken snake bodies. The air reeked of venom and blood. The tribe stared in silence as the human stood among the corpses, his chest heaving, his body still glowing faintly. He dropped the broken spear, his hands trembling. His eyes flickered back to normal for a moment. He turned toward the tribe, but they stepped back, afraid of what he had become. Only the girl stepped closer, placing her small hand on his glowing arm. "You're still you," she said softly. "I know it." The human looked at her, his heart heavy. "For now," he whispered, "but I don't know for how long." The elder stepped forward, his face grave. "The serpent will return, wounded but furious, and when it does, only you will have the strength to face it." The human nodded slowly, though doubt burned inside him. He had power now, yes, but at what cost? With every breath he felt the venom claim more of him. Far away in the jungle, a deep roar shook the trees. The venom serpent was not dead. It was calling to him, and in his heart, the human felt the answer rise unbidden, a hiss slipping from his throat before he could stop it. The campfire burned low, its glow weak against the dark jungle. The air was thick with silence, broken only by the distant cries of creatures in the night. The tribe sat close together, whispering in fear. Their eyes often flicked toward the human, but none dared to come near. He sat apart from them, his back against a tree. His hands trembled as he stared at his own reflection in a pool of water nearby. His eyes glowed faintly green, his veins pulsing with strange light. He splashed the water on his face, but the glow would not fade. The girl limped over, her leg. Still weak from the serpent's bite, she sat beside him without fear, her voice soft. "You're different now." He gave a tired laugh, bitter and heavy. "Different? Look at me, I'm becoming what I fought." She shook her head. "No, you fought for me, you fought for us, that's not a monster." The human looked away, his jaw tight, but inside, he felt the truth clawing at him. The venom inside him whispered, in his mind, voices hissing, urging him to strike, to hunt, to kill. Every heartbeat felt like a drum pulling him further away from himself. The elder walked over slowly, leaning on his staff. His eyes studied the human carefully. "You walk. The line between man and beast," he said. "The venom gives you strength, but it also seeks to own you. If you lose yourself, you will not be a man anymore." The human clenched his fists. "Then tell me how to fight it." The elder shook his head. "No one has ever held the venom and lived this long. You are the first, perhaps the only way to fight it, is to choose who you are every moment." The tribe's warriors gathered behind the elder, their faces grim. One of them spoke harshly. "We should not wait. He is dangerous. Look at his eyes. He is one step away from turning on us all." Another nodded quickly. "Yes, if the serpent calls to him, he may betray us. We must act before it's too late." The girl stood quickly, her voice strong despite her small frame. "No, he is not dangerous to us. He saved me. He saved all of us. If you harm him, you harm me too." The warriors looked uneasy, torn between fear and respect for her. The human rose to his feet, his shadow tall against the firelight. his voice low but steady. "If you think I am a danger, then I will leave. I won't risk hurting you." The girl's eyes widened. "No. You can't leave. The serpent will return. You're the only one who can fight it." The elder placed a hand on his staff. "You are bound to this fight whether you wish it or not. The serpent hunts you now. If you run, it will follow, and we will all suffer." The human's chest burned, his veins glowing brighter for a moment. He stumbled, gripping a tree to steady himself. His breath came heavy, and his vision blurred again. He saw flashes of a massive serpent coiling around him, whispering into his mind, "You are mine." He dropped to his knees, clutching his head. The tribe gasped, stepping back. Some shouted, "It's happening! He's turning!" The girl rushed forward, kneeling beside him. She grabbed his hand tightly. "Listen to me. You are not a monster. You are human. You are you." Her voice broke through the haze. His breathing slowed. The glowing veins dimmed, and the whispers in his mind faded. He looked at her, sweat dripping from his face, and managed a weak smile. "You saved me. Again?" The elder nodded slowly. "The venom cannot fully control you while your will is strong, but you must hold on. You are fighting not just the serpent, but yourself." The human rose shakily, determination burning in his eyes. "Then I will fight even if it kills me. I won't let that thing own me." But deep in the jungle, a new sound rose, a thunderous hiss that shook the trees. The venom serpent's call, louder and angrier than before. And with it, dozens of smaller snakes slithered in the distance, their glowing bodies lighting the dark. The warriors gripped their weapons, their faces pale. "It comes," one whispered. The girl looked at the human, her eyes wide with both fear and faith. "You said you would fight. Then fight. For us all." The human's chest burned hotter than ever. His veins glowed brighter. His hands trembled not with fear but with raw power. He raised his head, his glowing eyes locked on the jungle. "For us," he whispered, his voice sharp as steel. The elder's voice shook but carried strength. "Tomorrow the serpent will face not prey but a hunter." The tribe gathered close, fear mixing with hope. They had seen the human fight, they had seen him bleed, and they had seen him rise, stronger each time. Perhaps he truly was their only chance. Far beyond the firelight, the serpent's massive shadow moved between the trees. Its eyes glowed like twin suns in the dark. Its hiss rolled like thunder, promising death. The jungle was no longer waiting. The final battle was coming, and the human, caught between man and monster, would decide it. The jungle did not sleep that night. The glowing trees bent in the wind and the ground shook as if the earth itself feared what was coming. The venom serpent's hiss echoed far and wide, louder than thunder. The tribe gathered around the fire, their faces pale with fear. Weapons trembled in their hands. They knew the serpent was close. They knew this night would decide everything. The human stood at the edge of the camp, his back straight, his eyes glowing faint green. His chest burned with venom's fire, but his heart beat steady. The girl stood beside him, weak but unafraid, her voice soft. "You don't have to do this alone." He shook his head, giving her a small smile. "I already chose, if I fall you must live." The elder placed his staff on the ground, his voice heavy. "Tonight, the serpent comes for you. But remember, you are more than its poison. You are human. Never forget that." Before the human could reply, the ground cracked under a massive weight. The trees split apart, and the venom serpent slithered into the clearing, its body coiled like a mountain of scales. Its eyes glowed with hatred. Its mouth dripped venom that burned holes into the soil. Behind it came the brood, dozens of smaller serpents, hissing and snapping. The jungle shone green with their glow. The tribe gasped in terror. Some wanted to flee, but the elder shouted, "Stand firm, tonight we fight." But it was clear. They were no match for the beast, only one among them could face it. The human stepped forward, his veins glowing brighter, his voice sharp. "This ends now." The serpent's roar shook the ground, and it struck like lightning. Its massive head lunged at him, fangs dripping. The human dodged, rolling aside, the ground exploding where the fangs struck. He grabbed a spear, hurling it with unnatural strength. The weapon pierced the serpent's neck, dark venom spraying. Into the air, the beast screamed, its tail whipping through the trees, smashing them like twigs. The smaller snakes swarmed, rushing toward the tribe. Warriors jabbed with spears, but many fell back. The creatures were too fast, too deadly. The human leapt into their path, his fists glowing with Venom's energy. He struck one, and its body shattered. He spun, slamming his elbow into another. His movements were no longer human. They were faster, sharper, almost monstrous. The girl watched with wide eyes, whispering, "He fights like the serpent, but for us," the elder's voice carried over the chaos. "Do not fear him, stand with him." The tribe rallied, their courage returning. They fought the brood while the human charged at the great serpent. The beast reared back, opening its mouth wide, glowing venom pooling at its fangs. With a roar, it spat the venom in a deadly stream. The human raised his arms, the venom splashing across him, burning but sinking into his skin. His veins glowed brighter, his chest blazing with power. He roared back, the sound echoing like thunder. He leapt high, higher than any man should, landing on the serpent's head. He drove his fists into its skull again and again. Cracks spread across its scales. The serpent thrashed, trying to shake him off, crashing into trees, smashing the ground. The tribe stared in awe as the jungle itself trembled under the fight. Finally, the serpent coiled, wrapping its massive body around him, squeezing tighter and tighter. Bones cracked. Blood filled his mouth. His vision blurred. The beast's eyes glared into his, whispering into his mind, "You are mine. You are Venom, not man." The human gasped, his body breaking. But then he heard a faint voice, the girl's shouting through the chaos. "You are human. You are you. Don't let it win." Her voice pierced through the haze, his eyes snapped open, glowing brighter than ever. He let out a roar, pure and human, mixed with the venom's power. His body surged with strength. He pushed against the coils, veins blazing like fire. With a final cry, he tore himself free and drove both fists into the serpent's mouth, shattering its fangs. Venom exploded everywhere, spraying across the battlefield. The serpent screamed, thrashing wildly. Its body slammed against the rocks, breaking apart the ground, but the human did not stop. He grabbed the broken fang and plunged it deep into the beast's skull. The jungle shook with the force of its death cry. The serpent collapsed, its massive body falling like a mountain, shaking the earth. Its glowing eyes dimmed, its hiss fading into silence. The brood hissed once, then scattered into the shadows, fleeing without their master. Silence fell, broken only by the heavy breaths of the tribe. The human staggered, his body covered in blood and venom. His eyes still glowed faintly. His hands shook as he dropped the fang. The girl ran to him, catching him as he fell to his knees. "You did it," she whispered, tears in her eyes. "You saved us." He looked at her, his voice weak. "Saved you?" He coughed, almost collapsing, but she held him tight, refusing to let go. The elder stepped forward, raising his staff high. "The serpent is dead. The venom bearer has freed us." The tribe cheered, their fear turning into awe and respect. They bowed to the human, calling his name, but he only shook his head, whispering, "I'm still me, still human." His eyes dimmed, the green glow fading slowly, leaving only exhaustion behind. He smiled faintly at the girl before his body gave in, collapsing into her arms. The jungle was quiet now. The shadow lifted, and though the venom still lingered in his veins, the choice he made, the choice to fight as a man, not a monster, echoed louder than any serpent's hiss.